Woo-wee. Oh, it's starting to get cold out here. It is December 2024. I am bringing you guys another catch-up video. Yep, Jeff with Thompson's Farmstead Adventures. This one here is me getting my office countertop for the sink area taken care of, using a bunch of scrap pieces, painting it, and epoxy. And I'll show you how it turned out. And get you caught up on some other things. So hopefully you guys just stick around and watch how I make a mess of things. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thompson Farmstead Adventure. My name's Jeff. Well, today is Thursday, October 5th, 2023. A lot of my posts, just in case you guys have seen this here, since I'm just starting out in YouTubing, and I'm still trying to get my office set up so I can have all my computers and everything set up. I'm not very good at using one computer and doing the screen, like some other people do. And I'm not used to it. I haven't even edited yet. I'm still learning how to do that when you guys see this film. So when you see this clip. So what's happening is that I'm still learning to do all this stuff. In the meantime, I'm still recording. And once I learn what's going on, then I'm going to just start posting. So all the times that it gets posted to the times that I actually do the stuff can be way off. Like some of the stuff are going to be up to a year and a half, 2 years ago, because I was just putting little 5-minute clips out there on Facebook. But now I'm moving over to the YouTube platform because you can do longer videos without problems. And that's where everybody seems to go too. All the shorts go on the shorts, yada yada. I mean, you guys know all that stuff. So when you see all these clips, they're going to be, after the fact. That I'm doing it, and eventually I'll get caught up, once I learn how to edit real fast and put all the times and dates I want it to be posted, or just post them right away. I don't know. I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and continue working and getting my office together and get my computers done and get all that stuff set up. Find a way to get Wi-Fi in here. If not, I'll have to use my hotspot on my phone, and looking for possibly an RV Wi-Fi, and I think it was either through Sprint or T-Mobile. I was checking these guys out. It's like $50 a month, and it's a little area, a little thing that you just plug into the 120. So in the process of going, figuring all this stuff out, working on the house, working on the harvest right, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, like always, until we get certain things done. Like I said before, it's taken me 2.5 years. When we first moved here, took all the panels off the walls, put R30 in the walls, and then I stick framed this out, and this here stood as 2x6 stick frame for, I don't know, about 9 months before I started throwing drywall on, because I had to put the flooring that came out of our house, which was on Christmas Day, of 2020, which is when I had my wife and I move in. I was bringing stuff in. I looked at the house in October. We started moving in November, the first week of November, and I got my wife here the first week of December, and then we started seeing water issues, and that's where all the stuff started coming from, and that's everything that I'm trying to go back. This is kind of like a flashback to what's going on to bring the present day, but yet the time slots aren't going to be the same. Kind of messed up, but I'm going to be showing you Christmas Day. We're tearing up the flooring, which is this flooring here, which is hardwood. It's, I think it's 5/8, either 1/2 inch or 5/8. It wasn't easy, it was on a pad, but they actually have a lot of the areas where the tongue and groove is that was glued together. So what you see on the wall here was only what I could save. But anyway, so getting on to the stuff that we're doing, I'm looking at today, This is a shelf, and this was an extra shelf of the hutch that we built in the house. And I'm looking at the color contrast, and it's not too bad. I mean, I like to repurpose things. This piece here came from the original install of the new stuff we did, but they replaced it because it had this big old gouge in it right here. But I'm gonna reuse it. I just got done figuring out what's going on. My countertop size in there will be about 49.25 by 26.25. Excuse my dog, I don't know what he's barking at. And this is where it all works out. So here is where my 49.25 is going to be. And then I was measuring out my trim, and lucky for me, I can cut the trim at one edge and cut it at 49, so I have a flat, a butt joint up against the wall. And then the other angle there will go this way. This piece is 26 inches, so I'm gonna have to rip it in the back area there, as well as clean up this edge right here where they have that. I only have basically, well, I have all kinds of room. I can cut this anywhere I want, but I gotta make this piece then now 49 and I'm gonna say 3/8 to 24.25, and this piece will work out great. What I'm going to do with this guy here, get it cut to size. Like I said, I'm not going to do that today. I'm just kind of giving you the overview. And I am going to put a clear coat epoxy on it once I figure out what kind of sink I'm going to put in it. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a bowl sink or a recessed one, you know, or just cut out the hole and it sits on top. We'll see what we can find. Maybe we'll stop by Habitat for Humanity down the street here. It's a small one. I don't have a whole lot, but we did find some really cool chandeliers, you know, for 10 bucks. I think it was 10 or $20. Huge, it's big. So we're gonna replace the one in the front porch with that one there eventually. All right, we're back. Wife's gone, she's taken off. It's Monday, you know, she does her, she donates her time down at the shelter. It's kind of a shelter. It's not really not a shelter, it's more of a, it's just, you know, for people that are in need of extra clothes and some food and stuff like that. You know, Kingdom Closet, yeah. Sometimes a brain fart. Anyway, so we got all my wife's gone, so we got all the chicken stuff done. Everything's stacked up, ready to go. This is extra crumble here. Got extra scratch down there. Keep it away from all the mice and rats and stuff. I haven't seen any rats, really. I've seen some good sized mice. I mean, it could have been a rat, you know, but it had a very short tail on it. So I don't know if it was the certain rat that we looked up or if it was just a big mouse that got its tail chopped off. Over the weekend, not only did we get the feed, but we also purchased the board to go on the back side. I'm going to use it for the back side of my wood burning stove there. And we stopped by Habitat for Humanity. Matthew's being like Vanna White. Stopped by Habitat for Humanity. I was looking for a bowl for the sink inside. Picked them up. Got, you know, the lady was gonna sell me this here for $5. And then she told me, I told her I needed a faucet, so we went through and saw this one right here, which is pretty cool. So she goes, I tell you what, both for $5. I mean, both for $20. $20 on that one was the original price. And this here was $19 on the faucet. She goes, I'll just sell them both of you for $20. I went, hey, thanks, all right, a deal. So Matthew's over here trying to get all the little things out, but we'll worry about that afterwards. We will have to clean this here with some steel wool in that area, make sure that, no, not really, just stained. I want to make sure it doesn't leak. It's not bad. Hey, $20, man. Repurpose everything, right? That's what it's all about. You live way out in the nowhere's land, you got to make it happen. So that's what we're going to work on. And we'll just go ahead and bring it back to the end result because I got to find everything as usual. You know, that's the whole point of getting this office together. I'm able to get stuff out of the garage, out of the harvest right room that we use. I'm gonna call it the harvest right room. Find it all throughout the shop. Get some stuff out of my bedrooms. And just like, ah, man, it's getting there. Everything's getting there slowly but surely. Okay, we're back. I had lunch and actually got things trimmed up with the countertop here. This is my little tiny Insta hot water heater. I'll show you guys that in a bit too. And here's how far we've got. Now, I was trying to reutilize the trim that was on here before. Unfortunately, when I cut it, it was still, even though I only had like 1/8 of the thickness of the blade, it stopped right here, you know, about maybe 1/4 of an inch from my little backsplash. And I didn't really need a 4-inch, 6-inch 4 or 6-inch backsplash. I just took off what I cut off. And what I'll do is I'll take some black caulking and I'll tape it off right through here. And just do a little tiny bit of black caulking. So I'm going to put the epoxy on, especially in the corner because I have a little gap here. When I put the epoxy on, I don't want it rolling inside there and dripping out all over the place. As it is, it's going to have the opening here after I cut the sink. So what we're doing here, instead of the original trim that I came with, I have from the old cabinetry another piece, and I have to recut. I gotta clean it up, see if there's any nails in there. No, just boogered out. But there is nails in here. Looks like that one broke off or whatever. But we gotta take the glue off. And it's almost the same style. I don't know if this cabinet, in 2008 came from the same company, but pretty close. I mean, really close, you know. This rolls out more where this curves in more. Other than that, I'll have more than enough because that's the length that I needed right there on the original black cherry. But I have plenty with this one here. And then what I'm going to do for the top area, you guys see how it rolls off, has that little bull nose to it right there, little 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch bull nose. I'm going to trim, hold on a second. I'm going to trim it down. This here is like 1/32 smaller than 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to take that white trim, put it over there, and take it over back to the shop, to the house, and cut it down that much. And then I'm going to tack it on there, 45 the corners and stuff, do my little wood glue, sand it all out where I have all my little nails and stuff, and do the same thing here. All right, right now what we're doing is there was glue on the back of the stuff and little pieces of wood that came off the existing cabinet, so I'm going to get through and clean it up, get it all off with our chisels and stuff. And then there was one nail sticking out, so I just tagged it real quick, recessed it a bit with the grinder, and got a cutting wheel on it, but it's not going to matter. I'm just doing a little bit, just for those out there. Don't need one of those big old thick 1/2 inch blades. So Matthew is taking the sandpaper and just kind of sanding the glue down a little bit. That way we have a lot more smooth surface, so it'll be closer. So that way this top edge right here gets closer to the finished part of the countertop. You know, what happens when you repurpose stuff, right? You just gotta make it happen. Alrighty, I've got Matthew marking out the 1/2 inch line right now. That way it'll give us the lip for here. And we'll probably cut on the inside of the hole of the line. I was trying to freehand it, but I was going a little thick. And we got to look at the front part here and see what that comes out to. I might have to do a small little indentation. Now he made his little 1/2 inch lines. Now he's connecting the dots. But he's getting it done. So in a minute, hey, hold on real quick. Flip that thing up. Let him see. I'm gonna flip it the other way and come over here. This is the trim that we did. So let me flip it over real quick. So this is the older trim. We should have sanded it a little bit. I'll have to do the top myself and let Matthew do the rest. But had a little blowout here and one there. In fact, that nail shot at me. It hit and shot up at me. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll get all this here cleaned up. And what's white and brown will be that hammered black. And I'll have that nice reclaimed sink right in the center. All right, we're back. Third time's a charm. My first video I thought I was recording, I didn't hit play to show you the step-by-step I was doing over there. The second video I did, I had this can in my hand, rattling during the whole time I'm talking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this down real quick and tell you, if you guys gotta paint furniture and stuff, use this type here, because the spray nozzle here, you know, you can go 12 to 8 inches away and you get a nice wide clean pattern. Where the other ones with the little tiny tips, I'm not a fan of them unless I'm doing like the rail system or something like that on my metal over there. But even then I used you know, Rust-Oleum type, but satin, and I had this type here, you know, this type of spray nozzle. So little tip, try to use this stuff here just because of spray nozzle. I mean, Rust-Oleum puts out a good product. So let me put this away. And hopefully it was in the picture or before time. Here's what we got going on. Let me pull up the tripod part. All right, I've been out here for like maybe 20 minutes. I've been longer trying to watch the video and making sure I'm doing it. But each spray, I have 3 coats on this. And each time I did it, it takes about maybe 3 to 5 minutes for it to dry, and then it's no longer tacky to where if dirt gets on it, you can wipe it off. If bugs stick to it, you know, like flies or little eggs won't be there, you know, kicking around. So I'm gonna let it sit for about maybe 30 minutes. I had to use this old coil drain pan because where the hole is for the sink, the wind kept coming up and wanting to peel the plastic off, and I'm not ready for that. So, and the wind's blowing from the north, so I'm all right with the dirt road behind me, so I don't have to really worry too much. I mean, if they come barreling in here, the wind's blowing into the shop, so I'm not sure if it's coming north or northeast or what, but you know, we're pretty good. Like I said, still a little tacky, but not too bad. I mean, if I had to, I can get stuff off there. And as you heard in the can, with the marble in there rolling around, kind of like in my head, that I'm out of paint. My ex-wife used to say I only had one brain cell. She might be right. Anyways, got one marble in my can, one brain cell in my head. So what I'll do is I'll let this sit, and then before we put the epoxy on, I'm going to go over it, check it out, make sure everything's nice and clean, ready to go. Nice day outside, you know. We have no sign of any rain coming until probably I think it's next Tuesday or something like that. But no, we're gonna be pretty good. The temperature's gonna be about the lowest, say about 40 in the mornings, you know, at night, and between 65 and 70, possibly 55 and 70. A couple of days it's gonna fluctuate, but still it's nice. Nice enough to put on a jacket, nice and cool. And then I did a little bit of epoxy on my countertop, but evidently I didn't clean it good enough. And well, it didn't take in certain spots. Let's go take a look at that. You can see where it didn't pull up. So what I got to do, let's see how harden up. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it hardened up. Okay, good. So what I got to do is go back through. This is the first time I've applied epoxy on a hammered paint, so I don't know what's really going on between the two. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is take the denatured alcohol, put it on a towel, wipe it all down, get it all nice and clean, and hopefully the areas that separated, I'm going to do a second coat. Will take. So the product that I'm using is from Lowe's, and it's not a if anybody has done Bondo out there, you know, you put there's a certain amount of product from hardener to the product. A hardener just takes a little bit with the product for Bondo. Well, some epoxies out there are the same way. Normally you get a small bottle of hardener and you get a big bottle. Say you get a quart size of hardener and a gallon size or half a gallon, 64 ounces of the actual epoxy. This stuff here is a 50-50 mix, and I've never had that before. So we'll see, you know, how it turns out. So kind of the first time using that product too. So, but it is what it is. You know, I'll work it. You normally have to do 2 to 3 coats anyways. You can do 2 coats in a flood or 3 coats in a flood. We'll get on that too today. So there's just a lot of stuff I'm trying to cram in one day. We'll see how much we get done. All right, well, I just put on the second coat here, and had a lot of areas like I showed you before that were separating out, which is over here and all that. And you can see kind of like the little dimples over in that area. What I do is I take the torch, and if there's any bubbles and stuff, I just kind of hit them real quick. And it'll help also flatten out, so like that bubble right there. Bubbles around here. See what happens, you know. Let it level itself out. I'll come back in about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. And see where this thing takes us, you know. It's all you know, it's all reclaimed. Everything's reclaimed here, so you know, the top came from my wife's desk that had a big old nick in it. It was back here, you know, the top was about this, you know, almost went to the cabinet there. And we cut it because the big old nick was over there. That used to be the front. Then I had to take all this trim off the front of it, put on the back of it to try to get as much of that big nick in the back corner so it wouldn't, you know, it won't be seen. How I can put whatever there, you know, cookie jar or something like that, who knows. Put my Oreos in there, or Chip Ahoy's. But the office is slowly coming together. And I'll come back and see what I got to do to hit it. I'm not really too worried about too much waviness. It flattened out pretty good, leaving it, you know, overnight. Had a little issue with the backsplash because it also didn't take, so I had some drip marks there, and I have some rollover drip marks over in this area too. Well, now I know that the hammer paint doesn't work that well with epoxy. Well, later on I'll get rid of those little ice boogers there, those sickles. But it doesn't come out the way I want it. then it is what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and install it. I'm not going to probably do a third coat. We'll see what happens here. You know, I don't want to waste any more epoxy on it and time. You know, later on, if it really irritates me that doesn't look all that good, then I'll go out and get a small countertop. What I really wanted was like the butcher block. But those things are expensive. But, you know, it's my office. It is what it is, you know. So we'll see how it looks. You know, right now, I can see the waviness. But it's starting to flatten out though. So it turns out. I just got done torching it. I am seeing against the backsplash. It's not taking too well, but you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to deal with it. It is what it is at this point. I've got too much stuff to do. My wife's worried about winter coming, and I don't blame her. Hang out with us and appreciate it. Really do. Like, subscribe, you know, hit that bell notification. I really don't like saying that, but you know, every once in a while I will. So we'll see you soon.